Girls, today's lesson is the infinitive and the gerund forms. This is Unit 9 grammar. So, what is the gerund and what is the infinitive? Have you guys ever thought about sentences like, I want to be a millionaire? Why we say want to be and why we don't say, I want being a millionaire, okay? Or how sometimes we say something like, remember to brush your teeth. Why we say, remember to brush instead of remember brushing your teeth. So, what is the difference between the gerund and the infinitive? In English, when we want to use two verbs together, we normally put the second verb in the infinitive or the gerund form. So right now, you'll see what the infinitive is and what the gerund is. The infinitive form of the verb is to plus the verb, so like to swim. The gerund form of the verb is verb plus ing, so swimming. Okay, so this could work on any verb. So again, when we want to use two verbs together, okay, we have the second verb is usually in the form of the infinitive with to or with ing, the gerund. Okay, how do we know which one to use, the infinitive or the gerund? Well, right now we'll find out. So we said that using two verbs, the second verb changes to its infinitive or gerund form, but it's the first verb that decides whether the second verb is an infinitive or gerund. Now, let's look at the following examples. We have, I enjoy drawing. Yesterday, I decided to draw. Okay, now looking at these two examples, we see enjoy drawing and decided to draw. Here, we can see that after the verb enjoy, we use a gerund. So this is a general rule that after the word enjoy, any verb that comes after enjoy, we use it with the ing. And after the verb decide, we use an infinitive. Okay, any verb that comes after decide, we will use the infinitive. So, which verbs come before an infinitive and which come before a gerund? Okay, there's a list for each one. There's a list for infinitive and there's a list for gerund. With practice, you'll be able to remember which one is which, and as you guys like to put it, the one that sounds better. So that's the best way to put it. And with practice, and just the way it sounds, you'll get to be familiar with, which one goes with a gerund and which one goes with an infinitive. So here's a general list. There's a lot more verbs, but this is the best I could find. Of a list for the infinitive and a list for the gerund. But you guys can look to page 110 in your pupils book, and those are the verbs that you guys need to know. So it's in the back of your book on page 110. You can find a list for the infinitive verbs and the gerund. So these are verbs that after those verbs come either a to or an ing. So here, guys, more information. You need to know that gerunds can be put at the beginning of a sentence. So here, guys, I want you to think, here we have the example, cycling is quicker than walking. So also we have smoking is bad for you. We don't say to smoke is bad for you. We could say it, but it's just not commonly used and it sounds strange. So you should know that verbs at the beginning of sentences start with ing, okay? And they take on like a noun form. It's like superverbs, okay? Taking on noun form. So any gerunds usually come at the beginning of sentences, okay? you also need to know that gerunds can come after a preposition. So I'm tired of studying for the test, okay? So they can also come after prepositions. When we want to negate a sentence, whether it be in the infinitive or in the gerund, we put not between the two verbs. So remember, we have two verbs, okay? When we put them together, if we want to make them in the negative sentence, we just put not in the middle, okay? So, and it really depends on the meaning. So I want you guys to see the following example. He asked not to be in charge. So here, he doesn't want to be in charge. Or the second sentence, which can be interpreted differently, he didn't ask to be in charge. So in the first sentence, هو طلب إنما يكون مسؤول. Okay? إن ما بده يكون مسؤول. Or he didn't ask to be in charge. إنه هو ما طلب إنه يكون مسؤول. هو مسؤول بس هو ما طلب إنه يكون في هاي position. Okay? So he's in charge, but he didn't want to be or care to be so. There's another example. Please don't mention seeing me. ما تجيب سيرة. Okay? إنك شفتني. Please mention not seeing me. So please جيب السيرة إنك ما شفتني. Okay, so here, guys, as you can see, both of the sentences work, but it totally changes the meaning of the sentence. So you guys, it depends on what you're trying, the message that you're trying to get across, whether you should put not or don't before the verbs. Now, that's basically what you guys need to know for today. For homework, I want you guys to try to do pages 84 and 85, exercises 3, 5, 6, and 7. And for the workbook, do page 64. Now, girls, please refer back, like I said, to page 110 so that you guys know the verbs that after that you use the infinitive or gerund. And again, if you guys have any questions, contact me and I'll help you guys out. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.